The gospel, as I indicated in prior years, it is a spiritual anti-venom that God has provided the earth so that the earth may be recovered from the life-threatening consequences of the venom of sin, which the devil as a serpent deposited in humanity when he bit the first man in the garden. So the gospel is an anti-venom. Whoever has been bitten by this snake, once an injection shot of this anti-venom serum is put into your flesh, it is going to undo, it is going to reverse, it is going to counter the lethal effect of the venom of sin. So when we talk about the gospel, we are talking about lives of people who are already in the ICU. If they do not get this anti-venom, if they don't get this antidote, they will die. Not the first death which Adam died. They are going to die the third death before they get salvation. And that is going to qualify them to go into the second death, which is eternal condemnation. So there are three things we ought to emphasize. Number one, time is not on our side. Whenever God instructs us to preach, we have to expedite that process. We have to sacrifice everything else to create a conducive environment for the preaching of the word. Because perhaps there is somebody who is only left with 30 days to die. He must not meet that death before the antidote has been received by his spirit. We have got people today who are relaxing, who are reluctant, and who are resisting the word. They don't know that the reason why God brought this gospel at such a time, they don't have much time left. That's why you see every vehicle that carries an antidote, it is given right of way in the roads. May there be no obstructions in the course of the gospel. Because we are carrying an important antidote. There are sinners today who need this message which we are going to teach in the question and answer session. Number two, nobody should tamper with the chemical composition of the antidote, the anti-venom. Nobody should tamper with the form of the gospel. The form of the gospel. The form of the gospel. Not just the gospel, but the form. Yes. That's what Apostle Paul was teaching in Romans 6:17. You were slaves of sin, but thanks be unto God. You have obeyed from the heart. Yes. The form of the gospel. Yes. The parameters of the gospel. Yes. The intrinsic features of the gospel. Yes. The nitty-gritties of the gospel. The tiniest components of the gospel. They should never be tampered with. The efficacy of the gospel does not just depend on whether the one who has brought it is a legitimate manufacturer of medicine. No, it also depends on the courier of the medicine. That's why today the COVID vaccines are not carried by every Jack and Jill. They have to make sure that the courier services and the courier companies, they are accredited. The men who are going to carry the word also, they have to be faithful. If you are not faithful, you can't carry the gospel. You tamper with the composition of the gospel. Yes. So those who say preaching is preaching, everyone can preach. You are misguided. Yes. If there is something that the whole world must be very, very careful about, it is the handling of the gospel. You have to be faithful. You have to have a clear conscience. You have to be also mandated by the government of heaven. Yes. If God was to talk to you today and say, you only have 60 days left, I can tell you that is the day you were going to resign. You were going to tell everybody, don't call me. I don't have time to talk to anyone anymore. My time is short. I have to maximize my time of consuming the word of God. Yes. Because we came with nothing in this world. It is certain we shall certainly carry nothing. And what we are going to carry in our spirits is that which is not tangible, that which the eye cannot see, the word of life. If you are going to want to associate yourself with Jesus, do not trivialize his suffering. Do not trivialize his investment. Let's sit on the table of the Lord and let's feed our souls while we have time. Ukanzwa zvichinzi rakuparidzwa gore rakufamba, mhanya ugare pasi. Zvauri kumhanya nazvo izvi zvinosara zvichiitwa navamwe, watambarara. Mangwana unenge usipo, svondo rinouya unenge usipo, gore rinouya unenge usipo. Unozviziva izvozvo? When you hear us preaching the gospel with this aggression, with this consistency, with this boldness, we are racing against time, because to others, desire is failing today. And to another person, next week, desire shall fail. You can get sick until a time when you don't desire to eat anything.
What a rare gem. It's a must watch.